So TwitchCon San Diego just went down, and there's been a lot of interesting stuff going on there. And this honestly is just adding to another thing that went on that was just wild. This is the only thing that I would say has like real lasting repercussions here. So there was a ball pit, and if you've ever jumped in a ball pit, you know that there's pretty much a lot of foam all throughout it. And somebody jumped in one and broke their back in two places. I'm going to show you the video. It's not super graphic or anything, so if you're worried about that, nothing like that's going down, but here it is.
You good? Great victory there.
I can't get out. Are you okay?
She's held down by the Biffle medic.
Gravity.
No, she's fine.
All right, we'll make sure she's okay. Get her out of the pit.
Landed on her tailbone.
Yeah.
It's insane because like when she first rolled over, I thought she was like good, and she was not good. It apparently people are saying that it was just like a layer or two of foam and then straight concrete. Well, if you jump down like that on concrete, it's gonna hurt. And the foam pits also pretty much level with the ground, and the foam pits are supposed to be deeper, so when you jump off the ground, you have more of a cushion. She's pretty much on her hands and knees in the foam pit, and you can still pretty much do that in most foam pits that exist, but she's like on concrete doing that, being like, oh wow, my back is broken in two places. I don't think she realized that in the moment, but still. And then somebody else jumped on it and got like their knee dislocated, which I really want to know what happened first, because if you're running like this booth, don't you think, hey, it would be a good idea if we just shut it down here? Like, is that like too controversial of an opinion? Just, hey, that's enough for today. All right, no more people coming through here. We're good. That's probably what I would do, especially when you got your brand names like attached to the booth. Like I saw in Some Ordinary Gamer's video about this whole thing, that it was a booth sponsored by Lenovo and Intel. So when you have brand names assigned to things like this, if one bad thing happens, normally you would think someone would be like, all right, pack it up. We don't want this assigned to the brand, and have people do what I'm doing right now and be like, hey, this was something run by at least people who are sponsored by these two companies. Now, I do think that Twitch owns some of the blame here. I don't think that they're getting off completely scot-free from this whole fiasco, because why aren't you having thorough checks on literally every piece of equipment that is in your convention? Like, this isn't TanaCon. It's not thrown together super fast. I guarantee you they've been planning this event for like since the last TwitchCon San Diego. So at least probably like a year or so, maybe even longer. And you don't think, hey, maybe we should have safety inspectors? Like, it's so ridiculous. And then it leads to stuff like this, and I'll be surprised if there's not a lawsuit, because like she has medical bills now from that stuff. And even if she did like sign a waiver doesn't account for faulty equipment. Like, you can't just be like, oh well, she signed a waiver, so even though the zip line straps were all broken and then she fell like 100 feet down, she signed a waiver, so you can't sue us. Like, that's not how things work. At least as far as I know. I'm not a law expert. It's always something different with Twitch. Like, I know I joke about it, like, they're always doing this dumb and that dumb and blah, 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 blah. But, like, they're consistently doing things that negatively affect the platform. Like, at some point, it's going to get more and more negative press. And I really do think that at this juncture, it's really just a matter of time before Amazon is like, hey, you're not doing enough for us, we're going to shut you down. just the way that they're trending, the way that they're conducting themselves, whether it's events, whether it's just how they conduct the website as a whole. It's just gone straight down the hole. It's so bad. I wonder what idiot decided that like 1 or 2 layers of foam was gonna be enough to hold a fall. Like I really want to meet the person who thought that would be like effective, and just like talk to them and listen and see if that one idea is how stupid they are normally, or they just had a lapse. Because as soon as I read like a layer of foam and then concrete underneath, before I even saw the video, I was like, oh, someone got hurt. Someone got hurt. Because when people jump into a foam pit, most times it's like they're jumping into pretty deep water. Like they're not like, you're not trying to like superhero land or land safely and roll. You just sort of dive into it. Not really like diving per se. Some people do, but the exact technique isn't important here. I brought it up earlier, but I really do wonder who's getting sued. I would have to say maybe like TwitchCon and like the people who were actually running the thing, the operators of the foam pit. I don't think that Intel and Lenovo are gonna catch any real heat from this. There might be people like, inspect your stuff better, and they'll be like, oh, okay, and everybody will just move along. The only time I've seen like a real screw up actually affect like a company's bottom line for a long time would probably be artisan builds. And this isn't like an artisan builds level mess up. So I don't think Intel and Lenovo are going to be hurting from this. But I do think Twitch will long term. But I do want to end this off here. Just wanted to talk about the thing that was going on with them.